What's up, guys? Gibberish HST today, and more cards have come for the Descent of Dragons expansion. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a new Galakrond and then at least 3 legendaries coming in, so we're just going to hop right into it. So, the first card we're going to talk about is Molten Breath. Molten Breath is just a 4-cost warrior spell, and it says deal 5 damage to a minion. If you're holding a dragon, gain 5 armor as well. So this is very similar to the shield block, where you 3-cost spell that gains 5 armor and draws a card, and also cards like shield block that deals 1 damage for each armor you have. So this is a good card. I don't think anyone's saying this is a bad card. The thing is, I don't really see where you could have enough. And right now, Warriors meta, I don't really see a situation where you could have this. I think it could be good for something like Arena, but the problem with that is you have to have a dragon for this card to be good. So I definitely think Dragon Warriors is going to be a thing. I'm just not sure if this card will have any room in the meta for it right now. That is yet to be seen, so we have to continue to wait and see what is going to become of the meta for Warrior and what removal spells we have for Warrior, because if we don't have very many, it won't be that good if we're being honest. I mean, it'll be very good if we don't have a lot of Warrior removal spells, but if we have the ones that already work, there's no need to put this in here. So, I'm going to give it 4 stars. I think it's a good card. I just don't know where we're going to have room for it. Next is Dragon's Hand. Dragon's Hand is a 1-cost rogue spell, and it says discover a legendary minion from another class. It's rare. This card is good too. The thing is, people have been comparing it to Hallucination, which I think is not really a fair comparison, in my opinion. Hallucination was better. Was I think they're both in the same and like good, but they both have different purposes. Hallucination would usually give you a decent spell or something like that to help you get through. This card is meant to give you a legendary minion. This means you have 2 options. You can either get somebody that's really good, or you can get to something that's okay. Either way, your options almost all the time are going to be good, because legendaries are typically good, and you are outside of the rogue categories of legendary minions, so you're more likely to get a different class minion. I don't know if this will let you get different classes or if it'll only let you get neutral. If so, it's not nearly as good. I'm pretty sure it'll let you do other classes though. But what's important, at least for me, is that most legendaries are good. So as long as you don't get something like Mana Storm, and let's say Hakal's the bat 8-cost 1/1 Battlecry guy, I think you're good. And even he wouldn't be that bad. So what I'm saying is that if you get this turn 1, this is a very good card. If you get this turn 5, it's a very good card. And if you get this turn 10, it's still a good card. Hallucination isn't really as valuable on turn 10 or 8 or in the later game. It's mainly a card you want for the early game. So I really think that Dragon's Hand is going to have some play, at least in the beginning. And I don't know if they'll let it in Arena, but it could have a lot of potential in Arena as well. So I'm going to give this card 4 stars. I think it will see some play, at least in the meta. Next is a 2-cost 2/2 Envoy of Lazul. It says Valkyrie, look at 3 cards, guess which one is your opponent's hand, and then you get a copy of it if you choose right. So this is just like Glimmeroot. It's the same thing. It's the exact same card. The only difference is, instead of a 3-cost 3/3, you're getting a 2-cost 2/2. This card's good, alright? This card is just good. No one's denying that. Now, it's a little different than from Ungoro, because the meta has changed and all that, but this card is still very strong. I mean, it's looking at seeing which one could be your opponent is very strong. Getting it right is even better. Now, I don't think it's as good as Glimmeroot just because of stats. I think having a 3-cost 3/3 for Priest is more valuable than having a 2-cost 2/2 for Priest. But in the end, I do think this is a good card that will let you scout your opponents. And I gotta say, I think the artwork looks really good for it. So I'm gonna give the card 5 stars. I think it's very good. I think it will see play. My only question is, how much play, but I think I'm not worried about it. So, next is our first legendary Paladin Dragon Rider Theresa. I'm not sure if I said that right, but whatever. She's a legendary for Paladin, 3 cost 3/3. Death Rattle, give a dragon in your hand +3/+3, and this Death Rattle. So, very similar to the Valnir weapon that we got in Kobolds and Catacombs, except for more minion base. And I think the minion base is actually good. Because you got cards like Undertaker, who would be very good with this card. People have been questioning this card because, you know, is it really that good? Because what if someone silences it? But you gotta remember, one thing is gonna make this card really good. There is one thing that's gonna make this card potentially really good. This makes it going from a 3 to 4-star card to a 5-star card, and that is the Paladin Quest. Being able to duplicate this minion would be insane for the meta. Alright, it would legit be crazy. Alright, think about it. Summoning a 2/2 copy, you could just give more dragons 3/3 with the Death Rattle. It is an extremely powerful card that could let you do infinite amount of buff for your dragons. And then other cards like Bronze Herald, which gives you dragons, even makes it stronger. So then you could do something like Undertaker, Bronze Herald, Dragon Rider Talitha, and maybe I forget the other one. Maybe a different card. And then so you add 2 dragons to your hand. You can copy Undertaker, and then he gains the Death Rattle of this, which will allow you to buff a minion 3/3. This is really strong, guys. This is really good. So I think the combos and potentials of Dragon Rider Talitha are crazy. I think that the potential for breaking the game, of course, is crazy. The Son of Dragons is going to be a very major expansion. It's going to be a very big expansion because we had our last 2 expansions, Rise of Shadows, and we had Saviors of Doom. So, what are we going to get? Well, we're going to get a power expansion. That's how it works. The last one of the year is always a power one. And I've seen some people who are upset about this, and we'll get to that with Galakrond. Galakrond's crazy, right? All the Galakronds are crazy. But I, I, at the end of this video, I'll talk about why it's a little silly to be mad about, let's say, a card being strong. Next is a 7 cost 1/7 legendary for neutral. His name is Shuma. And he says, at the end of your turn, fill your board with 1/1 tentacles. So this card has a lot of controversy about it, for being honest. Most people, I would say, think this card sucks, and I understand why they would say that. It makes sense, alright? But the thing is about Shuma is that the thing about Shuma is that it has potential. Okay, it has potential to be good. If you can somehow guarantee this card to stay alive, it becomes very good because now you have a constant source of 1/1s. A lot of people have been talking about the Hunter quest, how this may be good with that. I don't see it in that. I'm thinking Paladin. What I was thinking of, think of it this way: you put this in Quest Paladin, you play this card, and then you summon a 2/2 copy of it. All right. So you got a 2/2 copy of it plus a 1/7 copy of it. And the 2/2 has Reborn. So even if they clear the entire board, you're still good. Because you comes back as a 2/1. So now he has to clear it again. So this does give the reliability of it a lot stronger to stay alive. And yeah, it's an interesting card. I also was thinking Arena could be good. Now, you don't get legendaries too often in Arena, but you never know. This could be a good card because it guarantees you getting something out of it, and it has a good amount of health. And that's what's important. The 1/7 element is why people is talking about it. No one talks about Hakar the Bat. You wanna know why? Because he's a 1/1 that summons 1/1s. Now, the only play you actually see Hakaran, the only play, is when you somehow get him from their class. Alright? or when you're Shaman, you get annoyed when you evolve him a 7 cost minion into an 8 minion and get Hakar. Alright. Or not Hakar, the bat. I forget his name. The bat. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so the 8 cost 1/1 bat for Warlock is not a good card. Alright? It's not. Because what happens is if you play it, let's say you get something good. Let's say you get a good run with him and you summon the board and it's all 4/4s. Anyone can clear that, okay? You got the 2 cost warrior spell that has Echo. Alright? You got Priest has a billion options to do that, alright? So my point is, sorry about that. My point is that compared to that card, this card is a lot better. So I'm gonna give this our 2 stars right now, but we'll see what happens. It'll be a fun card to mess around with. Next is Clear the Way. It's a side quest for Hunter and it's a rare. It's 1 cost and it says side quest, summon 3 rush minions, reward summon a 4/4 griffin with rush. Is this good? I think so. Some people have been saying it's not that good, that, it requires too much. But for one simple reason, I thought this card was good. And that is rush minions, alright? Obviously. But the links. I think the 1/1 links that you can get very easily throughout this makes this card good. You have a bunch of links options in Hearthstone right now, and that may change. This card may not be that good after Year of the what was it? Year of the Raven, or the after Rasicon's Rumble leaves, basically. When that expansion leaves, this may not be as good. But for now, when this expansion comes out, I do think the site Clear the Way will have room, because a 4/4 Griffin with Rush, if you get this turn 1, that's very good. That's very good and very easy to push forward. So I'm gonna give this star 4 stars. I think it will see play and has a lot of potential. Our next card is Secure the Deck. It's a 1 cost side quest and it's an epic for Druid. It says attack 2 times with your hero. Reward, you add 3 claw spells to your hand. And of course, claws is the 1 cost spell that I believe adds +2 attack to your opponent, to your hero. This card is very, very interesting. I don't think it's that good, to be honest. A lot of people have been saying it is good. It's weird. They want to see Gonk theories. They want to see how many Gonk combos. And I would be surprised if I did not see a Gonk combo in this expansion. My problem with it is that, okay, so if you get this turn 1 and you play this, you add it to your hand. Not bad, right? You get 3 spells to your hand. But then you gotta save them for Gonk, so to the late game. And then, if you get them in the late game, you have to spend 2 turns attacking with your hero, which is 2 mana you're deprived of because you're attacking with your hero power. So, I'm not really sure if it's too good. Maybe with Gonk it could be good. I don't know. But even so, Gonk goes out in the next rotation. So, either way, I don't really see it being much. Also, I just don't like Gonk, to be honest. Whenever I have fought the Gonk decks like 3 times, and every time it's just made me mad. It really has. So I'm glad people have made decks that. And if you enjoy that deck type, go ahead, have fun with it. I just personally don't enjoy that. All right. So I'm gonna give that card 2 stars. Not seeing much out of it. And last and certainly not least is Galakrond the Unbreakable. Wow, this card is legit insane, okay? So the first one is he costs 7, he gives you 5 mana, 5 armor. His battle cry is draw 1 minion, you give it 4/4, invoke twice to upgrade. Now invoking is, well, we explained that in my last video, so go watch that. So if you invoke another 2 times, you get, it says draw 2 minions, give them 4/4, and then invoke 2 more times, draw 4 minions, give them 4/4, and then equip a 5/2 weapon. What's your hero power? Give your hero +3 attack this turn. Oh my. Wow. This is crazy. This is really crazy. This a lot of people have been saying a fast, aggressive warrior. This could be control warrior. This could be aggro warrior. This could be taunt warrior. It doesn't matter what warrior you play. Galakrond would be good in it. All right. Now we do need to see more invoke cards for warrior for this card to be good. But I mean, come on, it's Galakrond. Of course they're gonna have invoke cards for warrior. They're gonna have invoke cards for every class with Galakrond. Now, this is the fourth one that we've seen. We have not seen the shaman one, so we do need to see that one. But to be honest, this is really crazy if you think about it. Getting this, that if you get this, that means you are getting an extra 16/16 in stats plus a 5/2 weapon. That is crazy. All right, that is really crazy. But if you think about it, all the Galakrons are crazy. Now, so far, I think this one's probably the most obvious in its ability. Uh, I think Rogue is going to be one that's going to throw people off. I think people know Rogue is crazy. I do think that. But if you think about it, this is much more obvious. 4/4 stats is crazy. Alright? So, I do think Galakrond is very good. And you gotta remember that when you invoke, it's going to give your hero +3 attack every time you invoke. This is crazy, alright. This is a very, a very aggressive hero power, okay? So, I think what's going to be the biggest part about Galakrond for me is seeing what invoke minions we see. Because I just want you to think of something. What if you can play 4 invoke minions in one turn? Okay, let's be more conservative. Let's say 2. You play 2 invoke minions on one turn. Okay. That's 6 damage you get to deal. So free fireball. Just by playing 2 invoke minions. Because when you play an invoke minion, it triggers the hero power. So you just got 6 damage right there. Off the bat. No strings attached. But if you get 4, that's 12 damage. This is crazy. And if you get anything that does battle cries again, like, that's crazy too. Because I believe that it's like battle cry invoke Galakrond. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's just invoke Galakrond. And you can't repeat it with battle cries. But the point is, this hero power is very aggressive. It's very strong. And this is something to be scared of, alright? This is crazy. So, this invoke mechanic is going to change the way the game looks for a long time. So, I am excited about this, to be honest. Of course, 5 stars. Don't even worry. All Galakrons I said in my last video will get 5 stars. But what I want to talk to you guys about now that we're done with all the cards is the Hearthstone and why they are giving us all these power cards, okay? Because a lot of people are like, I don't like it when Blizzard releases a bunch of crazy powerful cards. It changes the meta. It changes the power level. Alright? It makes it where you have to get these cards to make the game good. It makes you get do this and do this and all this stuff. They get upset about this, alright? First of all, this has been the repeating concept for Hearthstone for a while. I understand if you don't like the idea of maybe 3 expansions a year. I understand that. Having the buy packs is tedious. I get that. But there are ways to make it through this without having to do that. My goal is not to tell you, I'm not trying to pitch anything for Blizzard. I'm not trying to tell you what to play. I do want to try to educate you just a little bit on how this works, okay? We have, you could say, why not do 3 expansions that are on the same power level? Alright? I'll give you an example of that. You're the Raven. You're the Raven. I would say the 3 expansions were all around the same power level. The only one I would say differently is Witchwood. Witchwood wasn't even in the power level because the odd and even decks. It gave us odd paladin. That was crazy. These odd decks were legit crazy. Guess what Blizzard did? They took them away. After they took that away and made odd and even decks in Wild, this changed so much. Okay, this really changed a lot. Those three expansions were each the same. I've been playing Hearthstone for a while now. You want to know what my least favorite uh, year of expansions was? Year of the Raven. It was boring. I did not like Witchwood that much. I'll be honest. I thought the echo mechanic was cool. I like Rush, but besides that, I wasn't that into it. And you wanna know why? Because there was nothing really powerful in it. As soon as they took the odd and even decks out, which I was kind of glad about because they were getting annoying too, there was not much to do with that. All right. Then you had Boomsday Project. Boomsday Project was a good expansion. All right. Mechs were back. I was happy. I was excited about mechs. Legendary spells were coming in. That was cool. But again, there was nothing new about it. All right. There was no new, nothing crazy in parallel. All right. Everything had like an attachment to it. Mara's unstable element. Draw your deck. Well, now you're screwed. So no one plays that card really. Different things like that are kind of like that. So what I'm trying to explain, Rossigan Rumble was a big disappointment for me too. I saw two expansions that were the same power level, and I was like, okay, Rosticon's Rumble is going to be the big one, and it wasn't. It was just a normal expansion. It dropped low in the power level. So you may say, what's wrong with that? The problem is you need a big. I personally enjoy a big ramp in Hearthstone when it comes to the last set of the year. The reason why they make it the last set of the year is because that means this expansion, out of the three that have come out in Year of the Dragon, this expansion will be out the least amount of time because these three go out at the same time. So what I'm trying to say, after all this rambling on, is that I personally enjoy it when they give us more powerful cards in Hearthstone to help change the meta, shake up the meta, break the game. They'll fix the cards that are legit breaking the game. Alright? Kobolds and Catacombs is an example of this. Kobolds and Catacombs was really strong. And I love Year of the Mammoth. We had Angora, which was really cool with some new abilities. We had Frozen Throne, which gave us Death Knights, which was really strong. Those two were good, strong experiences. Frozen Throne, in general, had more powerful cards, in my opinion, than any of the expansions for Year of the Raven. But then we got Kobolds and Catacombs, which gave us Q Block. And if you weren't playing when Q Block was around, you do not know how powerful that deck was. It was just like, if you were around when Kajistan was out, it was like J Druid for me. Almost every Druid was J Druid. Now, and that time, any Warlock was Q Block. But what did they do? They nerfed it. Now they've nerfed it a little too hard, for my opinion, but they nerfed it. So my whole point in all this explain is that if, let's say, Galakrond the Unbreakable is crazy, let's say he does break the game, they will nerf him, or they'll buff cards to match his height, okay? There is no problem for me, at least, to seeing Blizzard bring in big cards breaking the meta in Hearthstone, as long as they don't target it to one class only. All the Galakrond classes are going to be really strong. This does make me a little concerned for the other four classes that don't have Galakronds. So I'm going to have to see what they're going to do. But like for instance, Paladin, it doesn't have a Galakron. Yet it has a potential crazy infinite 3/3 buff combo. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying as long as they do it all evenly, I'm excited for this because it's a lot of fun when you get to do these fun combos that you can't do in games like Magic the Gathering. So that's my little rant about that, and I wanted to let you guys know what I thought about that because I see people getting upset about the Heart Blizzard buffing the cards and bringing out crazy meta cards and how they're going to change the meta. And it honestly upsets me a little bit because you shouldn't not play the game because you think Blizzard's breaking the game. Alright? If you're thinking that, I understand. I respect your opinion, okay? My whole point in this is to say that if you give it a shot, I think that it's a lot more boring for me. I think when everything's at a lower power level, I don't enjoy the game as much. So I think Descent of Dragons is going to be a very good expansion. I'm actually very excited about it. And I think Descent of Dragons is going to be similar to Old Gods. I think it's going to shake things up a little bit, and I think it's going to blow people away. So, there you go, guys. Sorry about this long video, but you guys have a good day. I'll see you in the next video. See you guys next time. Bye!